If you thought that President Trump was not going to do anything to immigrants, well, obviously you're wrong. The chaos in the beginning of his term was about the interior of the United States, with ICE focusing on enforcement, okay, deporting people, detaining people. And then now you may have heard that there's an intended travel ban. As of the time of this recording, it hasn't happened yet. Okay. Now, the next thing after that is a presidential action, a memorandum, March 22nd, 2025. President Trump is now attacking immigration lawyers, the immigration bar. And here's the proof. So here we go. Looking down here, this is the preventing abuses of the legal system in the federal court. Now, I won't read the whole thing, but I'll share a little bit of it here specifically. Lawyers and law firms that engage in actions that violate the laws of the United States or rules governing attorney conduct must be efficiently and effectively held accountable. Well, holy shit, I've been saying that for I don't know how many years. Okay, that sounds good so far. Let's read a little further. Accountability is especially important when misconduct by lawyers and law firms threatens our national security, homeland security, public safety, or hey, why not just throw in election integrity? Interesting here. Okay, so they mentioned this other attorney, for example. I guess they just want to throw that in there. This attorney in 2016, Mark Ilias, who I guess was involved in this thing with related to Hillary Clinton. But anyway, going down. See, I mean, either way, it's still not related to the whole memorandum here. Now, other than that paragraph, it goes straight back to immigration system, where rampant and meritless claims have supplanted the constitutional and lawful basis upon which the president exercises core powers under Article 2 of the United States Constitution and is likewise replete with examples of unscrupulous behavior by attorneys and law firms. For instance, the immigration bar and powerful big law pro bono practices, which I didn't realize that many big law pro bono practices were helping out with the immigration case. I have heard of some, but to the extent they are called out here, interesting. Anyway, the White House is claiming that they frequently coach clients to conceal their past or lie about their circumstances when asserting their asylum claims, all in an attempt to circumvent immigration policies enacted to protect our national security and deceive immigration authorities. Well, goddamn, that's interesting. I thought, why not include, if that's the case, why not include notarios, notaries? Because check this out. If that was the case, they're really concerned about it. Here's an article on the Texas Secretary of State website. You know, uh, they're giving the context of what notarios are, and they have some kind of legal authority in Mexico. So I think unfortunately, people who are from Mexico or possibly Spain, if I recall, that because they are familiar with notary publics those countries, that okay, maybe it's completely okay to hire one in Texas, for example. And no, it's not to actually prepare and help with immigration cases, not to appear in court. So if anyone's ever wondering, like if you have notary or notario help you, or a immigration consultant, immigration paralegal help you, but you don't have the support of an actual law firm, and they don't sign as the preparer on your application, that is a red flag. I mean, first of all, if you haven't, even before that, if you haven't even read the Google reviews of that business, you might want to now. Okay. So, yeah, I do have concern, President Trump, that there are unscrupulous behavior, but mostly by non attorneys. And it's unfortunate that this article did not mention that, or not the article, but the presidential memo. Okay, so here's a website from the TexasLawHelp.org talking about unauthorized practice of law. And it is a felony in Texas to practice law if you don't have a license. Okay, so it mentions that here. Now, the other thing to share with you is there's even a website that has a website named stopnotarialfraud.org. And very clear here. Notarios are not lawyers. Um, but look, this is problematic. Okay, if you didn't realize this already, this is very disheartening. It's problematic. Look, if they really cared about this behavior related to what they say now, asylum claims, not anything else, but asylum claims, okay, they should be really concerned actually about non-attorneys helping people, immigrants, migrants file for these applications. Because as you could probably imagine, these non-attorneys did not go to law school, they didn't have to take the bar exam. But look, of course, President Trump has a different agenda. Okay. It's not truly because they want to help immigrants, right? They have a different angle. Okay. So I'm going to pull up the memo here again. He directs Attorney General Pam Bondi to take all appropriate action to refer for disciplinary action any attorney whose conduct in federal court or before any component of the federal government appears to violate professional conduct rules. Okay, well that's a problem, right? Because appears doesn't mean accurately violate or yeah, there hasn't it's not just appears like so just alleged claim, right? So and they can largely say that any of these immigration cases can potentially implicate national security, homeland security, or public safety or election integrity. It's basically a catch-all phrase, okay, that they put here. They went even so far as to say that in complying with this directive, the Attorney General shall also consider ethical duties that law partners have when supervising junior partners, including imputing the ethical misconduct of junior attorneys to partners or the law firm when appropriate. So basically saying, look, if the junior partner or junior attorney did something wrong, then the partner, senior partners are at stake here. Okay, and vice versa. It's this is bonkers. Okay, let's dissect this a little more. Okay. In addition to, essentially, they're going to seek warrants. I'm sorry, it warrants the seeking of sanctions or other disciplinary action. Okay. Remove security clearances if that attorney has one or the law firm. All right. So, oh, and lo and behold, they mentioned at the very end, law firms and individual attorneys have a great power and obligation to serve the rule of law, justice, and order. Well, isn't that interesting? Because yeah, I mean, I feel like that's exactly what I've been doing since I got my license. I took the oath that I was going to serve the best interest of clients. Okay, but that is the clients. This is what the Trump administration does not seem to understand. Nowhere in this presidential memo talked about the best interest of client. It talked about particularly in cases that implicate national security, homeland security, public safety, or election integrity. I'm going to drop this as a link down below in the description box, and you take a look if it ever mentioned best interest of client. All right, y'all. So if you're an attorney and you have a situation that the government is against you, against your client, please reach out because it can get lonely. So please know that there's many attorneys that are willing to support each other, especially the immigration bar. I found that the immigration bar is very collegial to each other. Um, so don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. Thank you so much, and I'm sure you'll see another recording from me soon. Take care.